Hello, hello. I think we're live.
Is everything fresh?
All right. I'm just going to let the chat know to refresh this page because we're live now. Awesome. Trina, I am so happy to have you here. I'm so happy that we're doing this. And welcome to everyone who's joining us live. Rebecca's here. We've got Anshul here. If you guys haven't popped into the chat to say hi, do that now. I want to know where you're tuning in from, what kind of business you run. I'm seeing some super familiar faces in here, as well as some people who I don't know as well yet. So come on in, let me and Trina know where you're tuning in from and what kind of business you run. Trina, remind me where you are today.
Yeah, I'm in South Central Pennsylvania. So we're still kind of in that hot zone area, but we've been quarantined, close to 60 some days, right?
Yeah. Same.
Yeah.
I am East Coast as well, so I feel you.
Yes.
Yeah, all just like doing our best. We've got Andrew here. Hey, Andrew. We've got Rebecca from France. Hey, Rebecca. Awesome. Oh, I love this. I love seeing people pop in from all over the world. It's so cool.
Yeah, and it's kind of windy here, so if you guys hear like some kind of whistling noise, it's just the wind here by the window. I feel like this house, we moved on top of a hill where it's constantly windy, which is great for doing videos.
Got that nice background ambient noise.
Right?
We have Kathy here. Kathy, so good to see you. She's from Iowa and she has a business where she supports family caregivers. Kathy, your work is super needed at the moment. And Anshul's from Detroit, Michigan. What up, Michigan? And has a channel on YouTube for digital transformation and making folks productive. Also really needed right now, productivity tips. Stephanie is from Texas and has an educational consultant firm and counseling. Amazing. So great to see all of you. And I'm just so excited to have you here and have Trina here today to teach us all about how to create 1 month's worth of super high quality video content in just 8 hours. I know from my own experience that when I'm creating consistent content, and specifically when I'm showing up on video on a regular basis, I help more people and I make more money. Video is just the most powerful way to connect with your audience. And right now, it's one of the only ways that feels really personal. Like we can't do in-person stuff, we can't get together in real life. So video is like the next best thing. And Trina just has a great system around how to do this. She's such a pro with YouTube. So I've got my pen here, I've got my notebook because I'm going to be taking notes on this one as well. I am not as consistent on YouTube as I could be. And I just can't wait for Trina to like really break it all down for us.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Cami. And there is a worksheet if you want to like follow along on the worksheet. If you look like right above this video, there's a little link that says get your worksheet. It's a Google Doc. Just go in there and you'll have to create your own copy so that you can save it into your Google Drive folder so that you can kind of follow along, take notes there too. If you are a digital person, if you're a paper person, just as good. But I did create that to kind of help you keep track of some of the main points I feel that are going to help you move forward after this class.
Amazing. So with that, let's jump right on in. Trina's going to take you through slides. She has like action-packed slides. So get your pens ready. And then we'll do live Q&A at the end. And I'll be hanging out with you in the chat the whole time. So if you've got questions for me or you just want to say, hey, pop those in the chat and I'll see you there.
Absolutely. Okay, you guys, let's just get going on this. So I'm going to share my screen here and that's not the right button. That is, and we're going to get started. As we go through this, I would love to hear too, kind of like, what is your goal with video or what do you hope to take away from this training? Because I know everybody's got something different. I know that Rebecca already dropped in. She's thinking about YouTube video and including it onto her future website. So feel free to let me know kind of where you're at and what your goal is to get out of this so that I can make sure, you your time here was good and valuable for you. So I don't know exactly what brought you here today, but maybe you're feeling that creating content is quickly burning you out, right? There are so many platforms these days. There's Instagram, Snapchat, still a thing, TikTok, can we just say TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and sometimes constantly creating that content can just quickly burn you out. Or maybe you feel like you just never have enough time in your day, right? Because you always feel like you feel like you're getting things done, but then you're pulled into a million different directions and you're never really sure, is that the right way to go? You get FOMO, you see people on TikTok, is that the way to go? And so you're just not really sure how to pull this all together. Or maybe you're thinking, you already know you need to be using video content in your business, but you just don't know if all the time that you put into video is actually going to pay off, right? If we're going to put the time into making ourselves look camera presentable, setting up the video equipment, editing it, we want to make sure that it's going to pay off in the long run, right? So you're in the right place today because I'm going to show you exactly how you can cut your content creation time in half. That's not just video content. That's your business content as a whole. So your Instagram, your newsletter, because this process that I teach really allows you to maximize repurposing content the right way. So you can just cut your content creation time in half. I'm going to show you how to get seen by more people. So if you're struggling thinking the only way I'm going to get more people on my email list or get more clients on my rosters if I just bite the bullet and pay for Facebook ads, I'm actually going to show you how to do this organically. And I'm also going to show you how to create a game plan for using video content that pays off. So we're going to actually break this down into 3 different sections. So getting the best video ideas is going to be the first piece of this training. So I'm going to show you how to make sure the video ideas you pick are going to pay off for you, that those are the video ideas that your audience is looking for. And if you have 0 ideas on what videos you should be creating for, I got a trick for you to figure that one out. Then we're going to move into that second part of this training where I'm going to show you exactly what to say in your videos. This is a script template that I've taught hundreds of entrepreneurs how to use. And not only do they see their audience retention increase in their videos, so people actually watch their videos longer, but they see more people taking action on their videos when they follow this template. And then finally, the biggest piece of all of this, right, is how to multiply one video into over 10 plus pieces of content, again, to cut that content creation time in half. And I've got a special bonus for you all if you stay to the end. So make sure you stay to the end to see exactly what I got for you to really help you pretty much copy and paste this entire system into your own business. Now, I know you've attended at least 1 or 2 webinars before, and I don't want to waste your time. So let's just jump right on in. I've got a question for you all real quick. I want you to take a second here to start calculating how many hours a day are you spending creating content? Like Instagram captions or Instagram photos or newsletters or blog posts. How many hours a day or in a week are you spending creating content for your business? I love to use this to just kind of get an idea of where you're all at so I can see if this 8 hours in a month is actually cutting your content creation time in half. So drop that in the chat where you're at with how many hours in a week you're spending creating content.
Yeah, as people are doing that, I'll hop in and say,
Yes.
for me, I feel like I'm a bit of a slow content creator. So I can spend a couple of hours writing and editing a handful of emails even. So being able to get a month's worth of content done in 8 hours would be really huge.
Yeah, and I know sometimes we get so sucked into the process and worrying about all these little pieces. And so this process, I'm definitely going to show you how to streamline it a bit. Anshul said 8 to 10 hours a week, and that's YouTube content, scripting, presentations, and everything. So you're definitely going to do well with this. Dan also says 8 to 10 hours. Ari also says a good week, probably 8 to 10 hours. So taking what you're spending a week and doing it for an entire month, so many of you are going to really find this super beneficial. 1 to 2 hours from Joshua, another 3 to 4 hours. Okay, so I'm getting a good idea that you all might find this pretty valuable here. So I want you to know that this whole process to getting to 8 hours a month was not easy. When I first started my business, I was spending a majority of my time creating content for all of the platforms at that time: Snapchat, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter. And also in that first year of starting my business, I had a baby turn one. We unexpectedly sold our house in 2 days, had to move out in 6 weeks, and had baby number two, all in that first year. So that first year really forced me to pick the content that was working best for my business, the content that was moving the needle forward in my business, generating me revenue, and doing it as efficiently as possible. Then things took a turn after that first year. I physically couldn't create content that second year. I dealt with postpartum depression after having my second child, and there were days that I could just not get out of bed. So the days that I felt good, that I could create content, again, I had to really maximize the time that I was in that content creation mode, because I was getting leads from the content I was creating. And if I wasn't creating content, I started to worry, like, how is this going to get new people into my business? How are they going to trust me if I'm not showing them this content? And so that's why I really got to this point of creating this. So it wasn't just something that I flipped a switch and did immediately. It was a process to getting to this piece. So yeah, like I said, I just couldn't create all that content. So that's why we shifted towards this system. And that system was, I focused on creating one great YouTube video once a week. And then I use that video to repurpose on other platforms. Now, you might be thinking, why YouTube? Why not Facebook? Why not Facebook Live? Why not Instagram? But YouTube is the best evergreen content that you can create, and it's going to get you views and leads for years to come, because YouTube is a search engine, right? So what I really figured out in those first 2 years of my business was that prioritizing video helped me reduce the amount of time that I spent creating content to get my life back. To make that course that I had been creating, to make the tweaks on that course so that I could get my students to see more results, to get more testimonials, to get even more people into the course, seeing what students were doing in their testimonials. And I'm going to go out on a limb here, but I'm going to bet your videos will convert higher than any other blog post that you've ever created if you start taking the time to prioritize video content. And I totally understand what you're thinking right now. I have been there, done that too. I think about the same things. Well, Trina, I just don't have the time. I just don't have the equipment. I just don't have the pretty background. We're going to address all of those things coming right up. But before we do, let me quickly introduce you if we have not met before. My name is Trina Little. I am the founder of Video Strategy Academy. I have a master's degree in business, and up until 2015, I was working the so-called perfect job when I decided I wanted to take my own path and work on things that I actually liked working on. I've worked with over 200 business owners on their video content strategy specifically for YouTube. I've helped clients get over 10 plus million views on YouTube. This number is constantly growing. So we just put a plus after we hit that 10, because to constantly keep up with clients, we'd have to change this every single day. And I am not a camera or a video equipment expert by no means. I hate tech. I am not a techie person. And so that's why I feel like I come from a different perspective to be able to teach video in YouTube, because I make this process as simple as possible, because I don't want to overcomplicate it either. And I have decided I am a content multiplier wizard, because I've been called that in a couple other masterminds that I've been in. And so I decided to take it and run with it, that I am a content multiplier wizard. But I know for you, the struggle is real. Like I said, I've been where you are. Maybe you're feeling you aren't cut out for video. We hear that famous phrase, I have a face for radio and not video. Or maybe you think you don't have the look, or you don't have the space to film video, or it could just be that you're totally overwhelmed with the whole process and you have no idea what should even be your first step when it comes to creating video content, because it looks from the outside, there's all these moving pieces. So I totally understand where you're at. You're not the only one going through this, because all the students that I've taught, even all the one-on-one clients that I've taught, have been in that exact same spot. I actually worked with a student, Shannon, who was doing video, but she said her videos were a total mess. And she was seeing no results until she started to follow the process that I teach. So let's just dig into this process because I know you've been told that you need to have a pretty Instagram feed to be seen, to grow your business. You've been told maybe to grow one specific platform. Maybe you've been told Facebook ads, like I said earlier, is the only way that you're going to grow on your business online right now, but you don't have the money to dump into Facebook ads right now. But video is where it's at. And I know it can feel difficult, all those moving pieces, like we said. But once you use video, this becomes your content for all of your platforms. So, anybody, let me know in the chat if you when you post a video, you kind of hear crickets, right? Nobody's watching. You sit there, you check that video, you hit refresh every couple minutes, and you're get maybe one view, maybe you get 10 views. Have any of you felt that way? Like you put all this time into the video and nothing happens, nobody watches. You feel like it's been a waste of your time. I've been there.
Yeah.
Yes,
I've
Cami.
definitely felt that way before. And I think it's part of the reason why, like, I've gone to Instagram lives or Facebook lives or even webinars, other types of video content that give you kind of more immediate feedback and more immediate engagement. But the way I'm thinking about it these days is while those things are amazing for engagement and relationship building, they're not searchable and they don't work if you don't. So you keep having to create them and then they disappear. Or like doing a webinar is incredible, but it's over after it's over. Whereas videos on YouTube are searchable, right? YouTube's a search engine. So that video content is going to get you found over and over again for years to come without you doing more work.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be repurposed, which is what you're so genius at.
Yes. I love that. I love that you say that because I think we're in a day and age where we love instant gratification, right? We want to see those numbers grow quickly and fast. And if we don't see, lots of likes on our Instagram or lots of views on our live, we don't feel like it was worth it. But there is so much power in creating this content that may seem like it's not growing. And then just like Pinterest is such a slow grower, but is such a powerful platform if you're in it for the long term. And so many of us as business owners, we are in it for the long game. Like this is our career. This is where we want to be. And so sometimes we just get so sucked into the culture of instant gratification. So I'm so glad you said that, Cami.
Yeah, and we've got lots of agreement in the chat from Andrew, Ari, Jana, Stephanie, Ale, everyone saying like, yes, they've had this problem before.
Yeah. So what happens when you do post and you don't get views is because there needs to be a clear strategy behind the content you're creating. And you really need to be using that video content to see the biggest results and make the time you're spending on content worth it. So quick question, Cami, when you did do like a YouTube video, did you do any kind of strategy behind it or any kind of research, or how did you pick the video that you maybe did?
Yeah, I often do videos around FAQs that I get from my audience. But in terms of strategy, it's very often just like post and peace out.
Yes.
Or post and promote and then peace out. But yeah, I really like what I think is so great with you is you've got actually like the system behind it to help you get leverage out of that.
Yeah. Yeah. And so that tends to be the problem when you post and nobody watches it because video needs to have a strategy before you even script it, before you even turn that camera on. There needs to be a strategy. And why this is so important to start implementing right now is because by 2020, which is this year, online video makes up for 82% of all consumer internet traffic. Social media posts with video have 48% more views. Remember, I'm going to show you how to take a YouTube video and repurpose it to all the platforms so you can get more views. A Facebook exec actually predicted their platform will be all video by 2021. That's literally less than 12 months away from now. And they predict that the majority of what you're going to see on Facebook is going to be video. And sometimes we tend to forget about YouTube and we think it's kind of this sleeper platform, but 1.9 billion people, that's over 1/3 of the internet, uses YouTube. And so when we're avoiding YouTube, we're avoiding so many possible clients, so many possible students that, that are over there that we just think, oh, nobody kind of is using YouTube for what you're teaching, right? And of course, 73% of marketers say video positively impacts their ROI. And so when we think about, well, will it really work? Like, what's the return on my investment? 73% of marketers say video positively affects ROI. And it's not all about the pretty pictures or the 500 plus SEO blog posts, right? It's about making that authentic connection with people on video that video does so special and does so much better than blog posts or even those pretty pictures on Instagram. And this is why all these statistics are so high, is because video has that best way to authentically communicate with your audience. So here's the good news though. All right. So we're hearing lots about video. Here's the good news. Video doesn't have to be complicated or time consuming to be effective. I actually had a student start using video, and 2 months after using video strategically, she had her most profitable month ever. And she could clearly link the brand new leads that she was getting that was booking her to her video content on YouTube specifically. And she doesn't even have a huge following. Her Instagram account and YouTube channel are both under 500 followers and 500 subscribers. So that is the huge power video can have. It can just book you up without having a huge follower. I also had another student, Vanessa, who, again, small channel. I think her channel is around 1,000 subscribers, but she was able to book her dream speaking engagement. Her favorite conference ever actually reached out to her and asked her to speak on their stage because they saw one of her videos, and just by the way she presented it and was able to connect through video, they knew she was the perfect fit for the conference. And a bonus for this particular result, she was just using a webcam. That was it. Nothing fancy at all. And she was sitting in front of a window to film her video. She still does that to this day, but that just goes to show it doesn't need to be fancy to be effective either.
I think this is such a great distinction, Trina, because it's like, your goal isn't to become like a YouTube star or a YouTube influencer or get all the cute little plaques from YouTube on the back of your wall.
Yes.
It's actually, like you were saying, she has less than 500 subscribers on her channel and less than 500 Instagram followers. You can actually have big results with a much more modest audience size, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, it's all about connecting, like having that, as cliche as authentic is these days, because we hear it used so many times. It's what makes you so different, because anything that you sell can pretty much be found on the internet these days, or somebody else is selling it. But what makes you be able to book that person or get that new student is the way you do it and the way your personality shines. And that's best through video. But I know you're probably thinking, wait, Trina, that could never work for me because your people don't like to watch video, right? Well, unfortunately, the numbers don't lie. 85% of consumers have been found to want to see more video content from brands they love. And this is coming from HubSpot. Or maybe you're thinking, they don't use YouTube, right? I've heard so many people say, oh, my people don't go on YouTube. Well, do your people use Google? Because YouTube is owned by Google and your YouTube videos can show up on Google. So this is a video that I did. This is literally from November, and you can see it's the top search result on Google. And if we scrolled on down, you'd see my blog post as well on the front page of Google that has this video. So not only do I go from having 0 results on the front page of Google, I go from having a YouTube video and my blog post now on Google front page just because I used video. Or maybe you're thinking, I think we've touched base on this quite a few times, I don't have a pretty space to do video, or you don't have all the equipment to do video. This is a great case study of my own. Like I said earlier, when we moved out of our house, we ended up building a house, so we couldn't move into it right away. So we were into this super teeny tiny apartment. All I had was this yellow beige-ish wall to film on. And you can see it was filmed back in 2017. And it has over 23,000 views. It has more than that right now. But I focused on the content that I was sharing, the call to action that I had in that video, in this video from 2017, ugly background. You don't see it's in the master bedroom with like a pile of clothes to the side or the bed unmade. You only see what is in this shot. It drives me leads every single day. 3 years later, more than 3 years later. That is the power that video can have if done effectively. And again, it doesn't need to be fancy. It's not working for you because you're probably using video as an afterthought, right? A lot of times we tend to use our content in this linear fashion. So we come up with a content idea. So, like Cami said, a frequently asked question. Okay, I'm going to answer that in a video. So then we do a blog post or we do a podcast episode. Then we write the newsletter about the blog that we just post. Then maybe we promote it on Instagram with some cool captions and a pretty picture. And then we create those pretty Instagram story graphics to promote it some more. And then maybe we even do a Facebook post, or maybe we go live on Facebook to talk about it. And then we're like, okay, let's turn this into a video. And then you're at the end of your week and you're thinking, oh crap, I don't have time. I need to write that blog post for next week. And so the cycle completely starts all over without you really putting the time into that video for it to live on YouTube forever. So the way you want to start thinking about this is, how long is your content staying power, right? Where is it going? And how long is it staying there? A few minutes? 24 hours. And I actually did the research for lifespans of posts on different platforms. On Instagram, your post sees 75% of total comments in its first 48 hours. Facebook is even worse. You're going to see 75% of all your impressions happen in that first 2 hours. And then by 6 hours, that Facebook post is pretty much dead. But YouTube, you get a little bit more staying power here. You have over 20 days on average, and that's not including any videos that end up going big over time, like that scripting video that I had. And it's going to see about 75% of its views in that first 20 days. So the way we want to start thinking about this is taking that video and moving it way back to the beginning of your content creation workflow, right? So now it looks like this. You got your content idea. You're going to film a YouTube video with, here's the secret, alternate endings, which we're going to talk about here in the script. Then you're going to write a summary. You're going to put that in your YouTube description box. You're going to use that as a summary to your email newsletter. You may even use that as your blog post for the time being. If you're short on time, the summary, if it's 1 to 2 paragraphs, good enough to go for now. You're going to repurpose that video on Instagram Live because you have an alternate ending for Instagram TV. I'm sorry. You're also going to repurpose it on Facebook because you're going to have an alternate ending for Facebook. You just need to pull a minute clip and split it up, maybe 15-second clips to promote it on the feed or on Instagram stories. And now there is all your content for an entire week done with one video. And so what that tends to look like is, here is a YouTube video that I post. And then I send that out to my newsletter, letting them know like why this is super important. Here's all this great information they're going to get. Here's where they can go to watch it. That's the blog post. Actually, sorry, this next one is the newsletter that goes out. Then I take it and I put it on a template and on Instagram TV, and it has the Instagram TV ending. And then I put it on another template for Facebook. And so you can start to see how this can really start getting you on more platforms, building your visibility without spending more time doing it. In fact, it's going to end up saving you time to do it. So I know the Video Strategy Academy that I'm about to teach you is going to help you get more leads to your business. I'm going to break it down exactly how to create this in 8 hours, but I will tell you, it will be up to you to take action. I can teach you everything, but you have to decide you're going to implement this and put this in place and do the work. So I want to know if you think that you can commit to that. Let me know in the chat, and we are going to dive right into this first section on how to find the best video ideas.
Cool. I will say, Katrina, as you were going through that, I got this like mental image of YouTube and a YouTube video as being like a really high quality, like slow burn, complex carbohydrate that like fuels your entire month of content. And then Instagram and Facebook being these like little sugar hits that like feel good and then disappear. So I think this is really cool and such a smart reframe of the process.
Yeah, I love that analogy. I'm gonna have to write that one down and swipe that from you. This-
Okay, I see we're getting lots of yeses in the chat. People who are like, yes, I can do this. Amazing.
all right.
After I finish my thesis, love it. Okay, let's keep going.
Okay, so whether you have a boatload of ideas or you're like, I have no idea on what videos I'm going to do, let me show you how to do this because not all ideas are created equally. Coming up with those content ideas can usually be the hardest part about creating content. But one thing that you need to understand is that not all ideas are created equally. And if you want to make sure you're getting the biggest bang for your buck, like Cami said, that slow burner carbohydrate, you want to make sure you're putting the time into this first piece of researching your content before you decide to shoot them, because this is going to ensure not only the right people are going to be watching it, but it's going to be watched for weeks and months to come. So what you need to do right now is I want you to start to think about a bunch of ideas. If you have any ideas, or like Cami said, frequently asked questions that you get and just start compiling a list. If you're anything like me, once you start getting the ball rolling, you will probably come up with like 20, 30, sometimes 50 ideas. So you need to make sure you're doing that. And then what we're going to do is you're going to go into YouTube and go to the search bar on YouTube. And what YouTube actually does is it's going to pre-populate actual terms and phrases people are already searching on YouTube. So even if you don't have an idea yet, YouTube is a great place to do this. So for example, I started to type in what to post on Instagram. So many ideas for so many different types of people, right? So you can just start to see how certain videos can be directed towards certain niches, certain audiences. I did the same thing with how to paint a flower. Just how to paint a flower. I just wanted to see what came up. And again, you can start to see how you can take this in a different direction for who your audience is and what your audience wants to see. Again, did it on Pinterest. Pinterest is another one of my favorite places to come up with ideas too. And just by typing this in, Pinterest will pre-populate actual search terms and phrases that your audience wants to see or what's being searched on Pinterest. So then we can then filter through what your audience needs. So the first step you're going to do here is you're going to just start typing your ideas into YouTube, into Pinterest, and see what comes up. Then, like I said, you want to find the right ones that your audience is watching because there's no point. So for me, I'm creating content for the business owner who wants to get leads from their YouTube videos. I'm not trying to hit that family vlogger or someone who wants to hit 1 million subscribers on YouTube. So I need to pick what my audience is searching for, while that audience might be a lot smaller than somebody who's like trying to grow a massive YouTube education channel on how to blow up on Instagram, on how to blow up on YouTube and get your 1 million subscribers. I'm really focusing on the audience that wants to use YouTube to drive leads to their business. So what you do, again, you're typing it into YouTube and you can see what to post on Instagram to get followers could be targeting a totally different audience than what to post on Instagram stories, because maybe that person's audience just wants followers and maybe they're willing to buy followers and maybe they're that wanting to be that influencer status, right? Or maybe this person, what to post on Instagram stories is somebody that's trying to build a connection. Again, all theories and ideas here, but I just want you to start to see how you could pick the terms and topics that would be great for your audience. And then what to post on Instagram business. This is an actual search term. This wouldn't be your video title. We'll dig into that in a little bit, but that is what you know if you're helping business owners use Instagram to drive more leads, to get more customers, you know that your audience is searching this on YouTube. Same thing with the how to paint a flower. I love this because this literally can go in so many different directions. There's how to paint a flower easy versus how to paint a flower on your nails, right? Totally different audience potentially. Maybe this is somebody who is a beauty blogger and is wanting to teach people, you know, how to make their nails pretty, whereas somebody else is an artist teaching people and maybe having online courses that teach people how to draw better. And then there's also how to paint a flower pot with acrylic paint. Again, totally different audience potentially, but you can start to see how you can filter through these to pick what your audience is looking for. Then we want to make sure once you pick those right videos that they're going to be set up for success. Again, this research phase is critical to make sure the time you put into video pays off down the road. So, what you want to look for, we typed in how to paint a flower step by step. And I use a Chrome extension called vidIQ, VIDIQ, that lets me see the subscriber count of that channel on the search page. You don't need that Chrome extension. You can just go to that channel and see how many subscribers they have, but it helps me see it a lot quicker. And so what I look for is I'm looking at how many views that video had versus how many subscribers that channel had. Because if that video is getting more views than it has subscribers, that means people are interested in it and YouTube is recommending it to people. Otherwise, if it had, 100,000 views, it may just be the subscribers of that channel watching it. Whereas since this is double, over 550,000 views on a channel with 230,000 subscribers, people want this. People are watching this, and YouTube is promoting it somewhere because they're not just getting the traffic from their subscribers. So this would be a good idea for you to create content on. Sunflower painting tutorial. Maybe people specifically want painting tutorial on sunflowers, or free, easy acrylic painting lessons for beginners. So the next phase that you would want to do is watch this video, see what they're actually talking about, see how they're delivering the content, figure out why this is doing so well so you know how to set up your video for success. Same thing with every watercolor flower you'll ever need. Over 500,000 subscribers, over 1.7 million views. Again, a good topic to go after. This one, learn how to paint easy 5 and 8 petal flowers. This channel has 132,000 subscribers, but the video only got 57,000 views. So maybe this isn't a specific topic that this audience is responding to. So maybe you don't position your video this way. Okay. Does that start to make sense? How this can really help you determine which video ideas are the best to go after that are going to really be the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah, this is cool. This is like so much information available at your fingertips.
Yes. Yeah, all free.
Just one little clarification here. The extension that you're using, it's VidIQ, is that right?
VidIQ.
VidIQ, cool.
VidIQ.
Awesome.
Yep. And the free version might even show subscribers on there. I'm not sure, but you can just click, on the actual channel's homepage and get their subscribers too. That's not necessary. It just kind of makes a shortcut there. So remember, we're trying to do this all in 8 hours. So going down a research black hole can totally happen. And I've been there. So it's really important to set a timer and stick to those timers. So if we're doing a month's worth of content, there's generally 4 weeks in a month. We want to do 1 video a week. That's seriously all you need to do on YouTube, because quality of content rules quantity every day on YouTube. So one really good video, well-researched, well-planned out video is way more valuable to you than doing 2 videos a week or a daily video. So I want you to spend 30 minutes researching each video. So that's 4 videos. You're going to spend 2 hours in this research phase to make sure that this video launches with success, is published with success, that people want to see this video. So we didn't waste your time actually putting it into the video. Okay. So you're going to write that down. And this is where we're going to start adding that time to see how this can all be done in 8 hours. All right. So the next step is we're going to talk about what to say in your videos, because you can't just wing it. You want to make sure what you're saying in your videos will get people to take action. Whether you have an email list that you want people to be on, whether you have a free training you want them to grab, whether you have one-on-one services you want them to go to your website and learn more about. There is a bigger picture. There is a bigger business model than just YouTube videos. So you need to have a game plan when you start creating video to make sure that you get people to where you want them to go. Not only will scripting your content and having this game plan make sure you're getting people to take action is going to save you a whole heck of a lot of time filming, because you're not going to be umming and ahhing and thinking about what you say. You're going to have your script up, you're going to deliver it, and you can be done super quick. The same thing with editing. When you spend a lot of time filming, you have a lot of raw footage that you've got to edit through. And so when you can limit the amount of time you spend filming, you have less raw footage to go through, which cuts your editing time down as well. And when you script it and you know exactly what you're going to say, it's going to save you time repurposing your content too. And like I said, you're going to get more action takers once you have this figured out. So here's what happened when I was winging it, or when I wung it on YouTube. This is an audience retention graph that you get for every single video that you publish on YouTube. So you can see exactly when people leave your video and how long people are watching and how much are getting to the end of your video. You can see nobody here is hardly getting to the end of my video, which means nobody is hearing my call to action. You can see within 24 seconds, almost, what is that math? Over 40% of people are leaving your content, or leaving my content specifically. And so again, they're, oh, lost it. So you can see that nobody's getting to the end of my videos to hear that call to action. This is when I started scripting it. You can see how high that audience retention is going. You can see more people are getting to the end to see my call to action. You can see people are more engaged because they're watching it longer. You can see within over a minute of your video, of this video, sorry, potentially yours, but over a minute into this video, and over 25% of people are still watching, which gets them primed to want to work with you. You're building their know, like, and trust with you. Your content is good, and so they're watching it longer. And this is when I started scripting my content. So here's exactly what you're going to say in your videos to make sure your audience retention graph doesn't look like mine when I wung it. You really want to start your video out with a hook. So some of the biggest mistakes I see is people starting it out with kind of that branded intro, we would say. So the music and the text and the pretty pictures, that is seen as a block to somebody to get to your content, especially if they're brand new to you and you haven't built any trust with them. They're going to click away. You have about 2 to 4 seconds to grab people's attention before they decide if they're going to watch or not. So instead, I would suggest opening that video with a strong hook. What's going to grab their attention? What is their pain point you're helping them solve in this video? And how can you really nail that at the beginning? So for example, if I'm talking about how to create your first YouTube video, I may say something like, you don't even need professional video equipment to create your first YouTube video. That could probably hit somebody who thought they needed, the fancy DSLR and the boom mic and all this stuff that they don't know about. Oh, she's going to tell me maybe that I can create a video with the content that I have. And then I would follow it up with, in this video, I'm going to show you the 5 pieces of equipment under $100 that you can use to get started with video. So again, if my audience is in that place where they don't have a lot of money, they want to just create content with what they have that budget, they know this is for them, and they're hooked. They're going to watch because I've promised what they're going to learn in that video, and I've hooked them. What value you provide people for your content, right? So for me on my channel, I would say something like, hey guys, welcome back. My name is Trina, and on this channel, I help you find the confidence to do video, right? Because I'm showing them confidence in what they say, confidence in the equipment they use, confidence in researching all these different pieces. And they know if they come to my channel or they come to my Instagram or my Facebook or anywhere else, the content that I share is going to be to help them find confidence on video. Because you got to remember, this could be the first time someone's ever watched your content. So you got to build that relationship quickly, but you got to get to that content quick. So that elevator pitch should be about 10 to 15 seconds, super quick, super short, get to the meat of that content. Then when you go into the content, especially for educational content, if you are a business owner who needs to get people over to your webinar or to your freebie, your opt-in, you want to make sure you're following it in step-by-step points, maybe step-by-step steps, obviously lessons learned, advice. Make it easy for that viewer to see these little chunks of things that they can do So by the end of that video, there's a clear outcome and they have a quick win. If you can get your audience to have a win, they're going to be much more willing to come back, watch you again, because they know what to expect, that you are going to help them. And if you're helping them in free content, they're going to be super excited to hear you have paid for content too, because if this is good for free, they can only imagine what you have for paid. Then at the end of the video, on YouTube, it's going to be really important to balance this as business owners, because YouTube is like any other social platform. They want people to stay on the platform. But as a business owner, you need to get people on your list or to your website. So you're going to balance this at about a 50-50 level here. So half of your videos are going to tell them what video they need to watch next on your channel. You want to think about if they're watching this video. So, the video that I'm saying how to make their first YouTube video with budget equipment, what would be the next step that they would need? Oh, how to script your first video. So at the end of that one, before I say anything, like in conclusion, in summary, as soon as you say something like that, your audience is gone. Your audience retention is dropping off because they know that video is over and they didn't hear your call to action. So the whole point in giving them all this great content is lost because they don't take action. So I would say I would do my last step or my last piece of equipment that I would show them. And I would say, now learn exactly what you need to say in your first video. This video I have on your screen right now is going to show you how to script your first video, because YouTube has a thing called end screens that makes that next video clickable. And when we see people's click-through rates on that end screen hit 10, 15, 20%, YouTube promotes their video for them everywhere. And those videos tend to blow up that have high end screen click-through rates. But if it's one of those videos that you need to send people to your list, you're going to do the same thing, only you're going to say, I actually have a full list of all of these with links to them. If you want that, head to the link down in the description box to get my complete list of equipment that I recommend. Super simple, super easy. You tell them where it's at. You need to have over 1,000 subscribers to be able to make a link off of YouTube clickable on that video. So you'll just need to say, click the link down in the description box and make sure it's down there for them. And that's how you're going to make sure people take action. And here's how I do the calls to action. So if it is YouTube, I say, watch that next video or go to the link in the description box. If it is Instagram, I will say, if you've got questions about these equipment, DM me and let me know. Let's take this conversation, in my DMs. I want to hear from you, so that it's promoting engagement specifically on Instagram. Same thing with Facebook. I may say something like, leave me a comment or send me a message. And then I'll say, like, share this video with a friend or like my page, because I'm helping you build your confidence on video every single week here. So that it's very specific to the platform. And all you have to do is splice in those couple seconds when you're editing it. It doesn't take very long at all to do that. So this is an actual client of mine. When she came to me, she was doing well with audience retention, right? At 30 seconds in, she had over 60% of people still watching. But after a couple weeks following this process, over 3.5 minutes in, and 64% of people are still watching it. So this formula actually works. It keeps people watching longer. And so that's why it's so important to take some time to script. You don't need to script everything word for word. I know that can take a lot of time. What I tend to do is really script my hook and my call to action. Usually I can talk on bullet points throughout the middle of my video, but you really got to make sure you grab people's attention in the hook. Then you really got to make sure you get them to take that action at the end. So again, we're tying this all in at 8 hours here. So you're going to spend just 10 to 15 minutes scripting each video. 4 videos equals 1 hour to script, because remember, we just want to really focus on that hook and focus on that call to action. You know your content. You are your professional in whatever niche that you serve. So you could probably talk on the points. Just make sure you have them outlined and then go to town. I know that when I tend to try to script word for word, it's hard for me to get relaxed in my content because I'm so paranoid about not saying exactly what I wrote, and my perfectionism takes over. So I will just kind of bullet point how I want the video to go and give myself that freedom to be more me in video. Okay, so that is how we're going to formulate this to make sure people actually watch. Then you're going to give yourself an hour and a half. In fact, I give you a little bit of grace period here at the end, about 2 hours to film. Your videos only need to be about 5 to 10 minutes long. You want to make sure you're giving your viewer a quick win, especially when you're getting on YouTube and trying to build that traction. You want people to get to the end and you want them to have that quick win so they want to learn more from you or watch from you. Remember, we're not Steven Spielberg here. We don't need some epic piece of content. We just need to prove to our audience, build that value that we're going to help them with whatever pain point we're promising that we're going to help them with. Okay, so don't get too into your head here because videos only need to be about 5 to 10 minutes. And I don't even know how long my videos are going to be when I'm scripting. I just know what I want to say. That video could be 3 minutes. That video could be 20 minutes. I just make sure what I'm sharing is what my audience wants and it gives value and a clear win at the end of the video. All right, so what y'all been waiting for. How do we multiply this into 10 plus pieces of platform? So why do we repurpose video? Well, duh, we've heard social platforms love video and everybody likes a different platform, right? This is critical because not everybody hangs out on one platform. You need to be able to bring your awesome content to the places that they like to hang out on. That doesn't have to be difficult. It doesn't have to be original content either. Sometimes we think everything has to be new and we're recreating the wheel on every single platform. Even if you post the same video on YouTube, that you post on Instagram, that you post on Facebook, someone is not following you on all of those platforms. And if they are, they're not watching your content on all of those platforms either. Different people prefer different platforms. So allow yourself to reach more people by multiplying your content on multiple platforms, okay? Plus, video is a lot easier and a lot cheaper to repurpose. And I'm going to show you how here in a minute. So when we do start repurposing, this is kind of what your content pyramid, I was thinking that was the wrong word, but it is a pyramid. Your content pyramid looks. You've got YouTube video, then you turn it into a blog post. Again, if you want to outsource this, you could always get a virtual assistant to do the transcriptions and turn it into a longer blog post. If you're short on time and money, just write whatever summary you put in your description box and put it on your blog. You now have newsletter content. Again, same thing. You're sending out to your newsletter so that they can go watch that video. You got Facebook content, you got IGTV episodes. I think we showed all these examples earlier here. I'm going to show you video pins as well are critical because not so many people are using video pins on Pinterest. And when you do, you really stand out. And we've seen awesome success from video pins using the videos that we create for our content strategy. And of course, Instagram stories. So how you're going to do this is, like I said, you're going to film your videos and you're going to film your alternate endings. Then you're going to create templates, and you can create these templates in Canva or Photoshop or whatever platform you're using to create graphics. And remember, this first part I told you is going to take some time. You're going to have to put the effort in. But once you set up these templates, it's super easy to copy and paste from here on out. You got to take the time up front to get this right. So you're going to create templates for your YouTube thumbnails. Maybe you have 3 different types of templates. So all you need to do is pop the title or whatever text you're using for your thumbnail and put your photo on your thumbnail every single time you have a new video. Saves you a lot of time. Then you're going to create a Facebook template. Remember, Facebook kind of likes that square look. So you create a template, a square template for your Facebook page, and then your video goes on top of that template so that, again, your video stands out and looks different and stops the scroll on Facebook, which is so important. Same thing with Instagram TV. We don't need to create a different Instagram TV, and you probably don't want to blow yourself up and zoom it so people are right into your face. You want to create a graphic template like this. Put your video on that graphic, and then you have an Instagram TV episode to post on Instagram as well. And we also do, like I said, Pinterest video. So we just create a pin that has, a TV, computer or a laptop or something, and we put the video of my video on that screen. People aren't listening to it, but they see this talking head on a pin and it stops the scroll on Pinterest. And so again, that has helped us hit over 1 million impressions on Pinterest was by having video pins and grabbing people's attention. Plus platforms love video. Pinterest loves video right now. Pinterest is going to serve more video pins over graphic pins. And then you can outsource. So like I said, you can create these templates, get a VA to do the blog post, get a VA to just change the text and plop a video on it and schedule it. This is something really easy that wouldn't take a lot of training to do once you get it set up on your end. So again, we'll run through what this looks like. Again, a YouTube video, a Facebook video, Instagram TV. This is another video pin that we've done. This is just the first 15 seconds of this video, the hook. Another reason why the hook is important because you can repurpose it. And then we put the captions at the bottom. So this plays on Pinterest. And this is like the first couple weeks this was live. We had over 700 plays on this particular pin. But they're seeing the video, they're seeing the captions, and they're reading it, and it's getting them to click to that video or click to the blog post wherever we decide to send that specific pin. And then this is another pin that we use too when we talk about templates. These are video templates that we create as well. So the run out actually is written out on a video pin. And again, it grabs people's attention and it stops the scroll. This is a student of mine. This is an example she has. This is her thumbnail templates. And then this is her Instagram TV templates. And then this is her Facebook template. So here's where this all encompasses into your 8 hours. Remember, your research is 2 hours, your script is an hour, and this is for 4 videos, okay? I'm giving you about 2 hours to film, and then I'm giving you about 4 hours to edit and schedule. Your editing shouldn't take a lot of time. Again, once you edit one video, you can start creating templates in your editing software. So if you're using the same call out text, you're using the same different types of fonts in your videos. Once you do it once, you just copy and paste it over to that next video, to that next video. So you're not recreating the wheel here. So in 8 hours, you're going to have 4 videos. That's 1 video a week for 4 weeks. And what this might look like is on Monday, you have a YouTube video go live. On Tuesday, you have your blog post go live. Wednesday, a newsletter. Thursday, Facebook post. Friday, an Instagram story or an Instagram post. Saturday, IGTV episode. So it looks like you're posting somewhere every single day, but you already did this the first week of the month and you got these all scheduled out to go. And then you have more free time to work in your business. No, on, not in, work on your business to maybe create that online course that you've been wanting to create. Whatever it is, you're freeing up your time now to create that. So to recap real quickly, we covered how you can get the best video ideas, what exactly to say in your videos so viewers will take action. Following the script outline not only saves you time, but you have people watching until the end of your videos to have your call to action. And you're going to cut your content creation time in half because you're turning one video into 10 plus pieces of content. So I'm really glad that you took the time to show up here today because I know with everything that's going on, we have a lot to do. And I'm not really sure exactly why you came today. Maybe you're frustrated spending time on content that nobody engages in. Or maybe you want your content to drive you more leads. Maybe drive you leads while you sleep is kind of like that saying we hear. But video content, if done right, can be that evergreen content for you. So today, now is your time to get started with a video strategy that you can spend less time creating, but you need to understand that you can't reverse engineer this, right? You don't know what you don't know. There's a lot of stuff that goes on the back end of YouTube that really helps you figure out how to position your videos, the strategy behind the YouTube videos, the thumbnails, the titles. It's kind of like an iceberg, right? You can only see the tip of the iceberg after going through this lesson in about 40 minutes. You don't get to see the whole picture here. From the outside, you might see how you can start creating video content. Like I showed you all the moving pieces and how to pull it all together, but you're not seeing the whole strategy behind the video content. But the good news is nothing I've shared with you today is theory or ideas. These are all things me and over 100 plus students have done to achieve this time-saving video repurposed content plan. And I don't have any special advantages. I didn't take any special YouTube course. I don't have a secret tool or access to expensive resources. I just have a system that works. And if I can do this and hundreds of my students can do this, I know you can do this too. So you could Google this all out if you wanted to. You could YouTube all of this because, like I said, so much of our content is already out there. Or you could really fast track this. And I want to officially invite you to the Video Strategy Academy where I map it all out for you. I show you exactly what to do step by step and how to do it effectively. So you aren't going and spending 8 hours creating videos and not seeing the results that you want to see. Because that's the worst thing that could come away from here is taking this, all this great stuff that you learned, putting it into play, but then not seeing it work in a bigger picture, right? So this is my complete step-by-step comprehensive video strategy formula that works even if you're a video novice or have zero video experience. It works even if you've been on YouTube and you're like, I have no idea how I'm getting views, how people are watching my videos, how they're finding my videos. Are they finding it in search? Are they finding it in suggested? What does that even mean? But it really takes you, it's the fastest way to going from no one engaging with your content to creating videos that drive you leads 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and cut your content creation time in half. That script video isn't the only one that's been huge for me. I made a video back in November that kind of flatlined for me. I was like, chalked it up to, just didn't hit the right thing. In the past 6 weeks, it has exploded. It has over, I haven't even looked recently, but it had over 50,000 views. And that first month it was live, it maybe hit 500 views. And now it's exploded. So just posting these videos and letting them go isn't always what works. It's kind of this long strategy, this long-term strategy. And when you see that, that really affects what videos you should be creating for YouTube specifically. This is exactly the process Zoe went through, who made $200 from just one video being live for just 24 hours. And she seriously had 200 subscribers when this video went live. Same with Lindsay. After she followed this process, she booked her first client from a YouTube video after being on YouTube inside of the Video Strategy Academy for 2 months. And she had, at the time, under 1,000 YouTube subscribers as well. So everything inside of the Video Strategy Academy, you're getting the step-by-step program. All the templates that I showed you, I've already created them in Canva, so you can swipe them, use them for yourself. I teach you how to use video and YouTube the right way to scale your business, so you're not taking any misfortunate steps. You're not wasting that 8 hours of video. You're getting the video multiplier formula, our proven video workflow to help you master video content on YouTube, Instagram, Pinterest, Facebook, LinkedIn, so you can drive more leads to your business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Like I said, those templates that I showed you that we created, those thumbnail templates are all inside of here for you to swipe and change to your branding, your font, and make them however you want. But we're giving you the base for that. And you get to join our community and be surrounded by like-minded business owners just like you. So you can ask questions, get feedback, build relationships. Some of them are even collaborating together, exposing their audience to somebody else's audience. And so it's just such great synergy inside of that community. So imagine if you could have a video you made 4 months ago selling for you in your sleep. Like I said, that video I made back in November is constantly off the charts, driving me leads every single day. If you could have more inquiries from people who are ready to work with you from the second they reach out because they feel like they already know you. I didn't actually share this story, but a couple years ago, we all had the flu and it was a Friday. I got an email from somebody saying, hey, I just binge watched all your videos. I want to work with you. How do I sign up? What do I need to do? And by Sunday, while we were all sick with the flu, I had a client sign a contract without even getting on a call while we were all sick with the flu, because she binge watched 12 of my videos and knew I was the right fit and I had the right style that she wanted to take her YouTube strategy to that next level. Imagine if you could have the authority in your industry you truly deserve. So you want to speak at more conferences, you want to speak at online summits. Being on video fast tracks you there. And imagine if you could save time on content creation, but actually showing up everywhere without really being everywhere. Pretty cool, right? To be on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and be like, oh, I did that all in one day a couple weeks ago, and it's all working for me now. You can. I know you can do this. You will be able to master video content and cut your content time in half. Your videos are now going to be your 24/7 sales team waiting for you, working for you around the clock. So we'll just go over real quick what's inside. I broke this down into 4 phases. So in modules 1 through 10 is kind of the big chunk of YouTube content. So I talk with you how to understand your niche on YouTube, how to understand the back end of YouTube. So by looking at what people are watching on your channel, how to decide which content is the right direction to go. Because when you're searching on YouTube, you're just getting a whole what's working on YouTube. But you can take that to the next level when you get data on your content and what people are responding to, and really blow up and reach the right people when you can understand it. So I walk you through how to set up that channel, how to make sure all the back end stuff is set up, how to really turn it into the evergreen money maker. There's also strategy in there. Okay, what do I do if I want to launch something? What does my content on YouTube look like when I'm preparing for a launch? Versus what does my content look like when I'm planning to grow my email list? Like, you need to get leads right now. What does my content look like on YouTube then? Versus what does my content look like on YouTube when I'm trying to grow my YouTube channel? So these are all 3 phases that you need to cycle through on YouTube to see the success that you want. Because if you're not getting YouTube to push your content by doing this YouTube growth cycle, you're not going to get the people to see your content when you're growing your list and getting people off of YouTube. And you're not going to have people see your content when you're launching to get more people into your program or your service that you're offering. So I walk you through these 3 key strategies and the 3 key videos you should be using on your video throughout the entire month. I also walk you through exactly how to film your videos and how I edit. There is editing tutorials on iMovie. Camtasia in Final Cut Pro is coming really soon. We've been working on that one. I actually, on this screen grab, you can see I turn the camera on myself and I show you exactly what this room looks like when I set up to film. So you can see what that looks like. I also walk you through how to upload your videos, optimize them, the importance of thumbnails, and how to determine, are your titles and your thumbnails actually getting people to click on your video? Because if your titles and your thumbnails don't get people to click, it doesn't matter how great your editing is, how great your content is. Nobody's going to watch your videos if they don't click on it. And YouTube's not going to promote your content to more people if people aren't going to click on it. So we talk about all of that inside of there too. And then in the second part of the program is my video multiplier formula. This was a separate course that we recently just smushed in here because I figure, why not bring you everything that you need to be successful on video? So I teach you the video multiplier formula process. So how to create those Facebook videos, those Pinterest videos, how to edit those, how to get those templates. Like I said, they're already created for you in Canva. You can swipe them and use them for your own, and how you're going to start putting them on all of these different platforms. It's already done for you. So you can get this entire program right now. It's just as Cami's audience. This is normally $597, but for Cami's audience, you're getting it for $397. Or you can do the payment option, which is $97 now, and 4 monthly payments of $97 gets you instant access inside the program, inside the Facebook group, and you can literally push play on the first module in 5 minutes or less. But we do have bonuses because, I want you to succeed. So inside of there, I actually have an entire process broken down for you on how to use Google Calendar to create a content plan so that you can make sure you're batching a little bit better. I know batching doesn't come easy for people. And when you first batch those videos, you may be only able to get 2 done at a time. But I walk you through how I plan everything, when I plan my YouTube video, how I plan my Instagram posts, all in this free training inside of the program, as well as a bonus. If you're planning to use video to launch a product or a course, I show you exactly how I launch a product step by step in Asana. So it's already broken down into a checklist format for you, from preparing to creating your opt-in. All the checklist is broken down. You swipe this Asana checklist and you know exactly what you need to do when to get launched within 6 weeks. You're also going to get free access to TubeBuddy. It's similar to vidIQ, but Andrew has a training in here on how to use TubeBuddy to really research those topic ideas. So to take that YouTube research and go a little bit deeper with data from YouTube as a whole. And it's like all this clickable information that you can get inside of TubeBuddy. TubeBuddy is a great Google Chrome extension, and you're going to get 30 days to try it for free. I actually use TubeBuddy to A/B test thumbnails. So I will test, does my thumbnail do better if I have a pink border versus no border? Does my thumbnail do better if I have white text versus pink text? This is all things that goes on with your YouTube strategy that's super important to know, because again, that click-through rate is critical to getting your content seen by more people. And so you're getting access to that for 30 days. And since we're talking about using Pinterest and Instagram with videos, we have a free training and a bonus today from Vanessa Kynes, who's going to show you how to use Pinterest for video. So if you're like, Trina, I saw you using video pins, but I don't even know how to use Pinterest. Vanessa's training teaches you how to get started on Pinterest for a business. And then Chris is showing you, this is a brand new training last month on what's working on Instagram right now. What kind of strategy should you be having on Instagram right now, circa April 2020. So this is the most updated Instagram content that we have. And you're getting a 14-day money back guarantee, so you can test it, see if it's going to work for you. Ashlyn wasn't sure if video was going to be right for her. Not only did she end up saving time repurposing her videos on Facebook, she uses her videos on Facebook as ads, and she can retarget these views, which is such a high warm lead, such a warm lead. If people are watching your videos on Facebook, they are a big audience for you to retarget when you're launching anything. She also, once she started using YouTube consistently, had her most successful launch, which was over 6 figures after implementing videos into her content strategy. On the opposite end of the spectrum, Brittany just posted a few videos. I think she posted like 12 when she got started. She had under 400 subscribers, and she booked multiple dream clients and got her speaking gig dream job. She got to speak at her dream conference, again, because she was on video and these people could see her and know if she was the right fit or not. And I want the same for you now. I want to help you get results. I love working with my students inside of the Video Strategy Academy. And you can get inside now and work with me. Just hit that orange button below to get inside now. Again, this is everything that's included. It's all written down below here too. If you want to look at things, you're getting literally over 25 plus video training modules, every single tiny step that you need to know about YouTube. You're getting the video multiplier formula with templates. There's training on how to use those templates, how to edit those templates. You're getting the private Facebook group where you'll get additional support from me and my team to ask us questions. Plus, you're getting resources, a list of resources, Google Docs, worksheets, checklists, spreadsheets to really track if your video content is working for you or not, because that's really important. Is your video content paying off? Are you seeing that ROI? So it's all in there for you to swipe once you get started. And those 4 bonuses as well, your content calendar and batch workshop, 30 free days of TubeBuddy plus a training from Andrew at TubeBuddy, the launch your digital product workflow and training in Asana, and how to use Instagram strategically and how to get started with Pinterest. Remember, if you learned anything today, the one takeaway I want you to have is prioritizing video will help you reduce the amount of time you spend creating content. So all of you that said you're spending 8 to 10 hours a week, let's cut that in half at least, and let's start prioritizing video content. So I'm going to go ahead and switch this over so that we can get some questions answered.
Amazing. Thank you so, so much, Trina. This was super inspiring. I know I'm inspired to cut my content creation time down, to prioritize video, and to repurpose and mix and match. I'm not on all the platforms you mentioned, but just like, I love that you gave the full suite of examples so then we can pick and mix what works for us and what we use. We've got people here in the chat saying how inspired they are and how valuable this was. So just thank you. And this course looks incredible. I've been having a little back and forth about the templates and how much we love templates.
Yes.
Because they make life so super easy. And I just want to really echo what you said about video as this way to attract leads and opportunities. And, you know, for me personally, showing up on video, even though I don't do it incredibly consistently, even though it's something that I'm actively working on, just like all of you. Even still, with the amount that I do, I have booked speaking gigs at conferences. I'm
Mhm.
speaking in a couple of virtual summits. I
Mhm.
have partnership and collaboration requests in my inbox. Right now, I'm speaking at a summit that's getting promoted out to an email list of 30,000 people. So, like, that's amazing exposure,
Yes.
all just from
Yes.
some very, very simple on camera content, which has been great. So we have some fab questions that I want to make sure we
Yes.
get to.
Let's get them
So guys,
answered.
keep popping your questions in the chat box because we'll keep just answering them. But let's go through some of the pre-submitted ones first. This was such a good one that I wanted to tackle. Someone in the chat was saying that she feels overwhelmed and like
Mhm.
she needs a new hairdo before thinking about creating a video, which I can totally relate to. But can you speak to that a little bit, Trina?
Absolutely. So, a lot of people are going to connect with who you are as a person. Um, what happens is we tend to wrap up in all the perfection. And what people really want is to be able to work with someone that they can connect with, to work or learn from somebody that they can relate to. And all of us are in a journey right now with quarantine where we aren't getting our hair done or our hair colored. And it's a really testament as you see, news hosts and talk shows, they're going live from their home. They don't have the professional people doing their stuff, but they're seeing more people engage because it feels like we know them better now. We see into their house, we see them more as themselves. And so sometimes we get so wrapped up on perfection. I can tell you there has been multiple videos on my channel. I know this doesn't have to do with a new hairdo, but there's been multiple videos on my channel where I've had a lipstick on my teeth and I got it back after editing and I was like, "Oh, crud." And I just left it. I put it up there, who cares? Let's see. Nobody even mentioned it in a comment. And so sometimes we just get wrapped up into being our own biggest critic that we don't realize people are there, unfortunately, not for us, but for the content. They want to learn. If you help them and you give them a win, that's what they're going to remember and not how our roots have been growing out for the past 3 months. And you don't know when you're going to get them done.
Great point. Totally. And like, what is one quick thing that you could do to make yourself feel good? Do you need to stick on a headband? Do you need to put it up in a
Mhm.
ponytail? Do you need to put on a baseball hat? Like, whatever it is, I bet there's one little simple thing that would just give you an extra boost. And then you can, move on from there. And like Trina said, like, let go of that perfectionism because people connect with real people.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
so Jana wants to know, on a similar note with the perfectionism, is it a good idea to start creating one YouTube video per week, even if you don't have time to make them perfect?
Yeah, absolutely. You can look at my very first YouTube videos. I leave them all up there. In fact, you can look at Marie Forleo's first YouTube video. You can look at Amy Porterfield's first YouTube video. A lot of entrepreneurs' first YouTube videos you can go back and look at, and they did not start where they are right now. Marie Forleo now films like on a studio and has like professional lights and stuff. But when she got started, she was sitting on her couch. If you look at her first video, and once you get started, once you start doing it, you're going to start learning things, you're going to tweak things. And those first couple of videos, those first 50 videos are probably going to be cringy, terrible. I know mine are. I leave them up there for you all to learn, but you're never going to get better and get to a point that you're proud of them if you don't just do them. I always use the analogy, you're not going to jump on a bicycle without training wheels and cruise down that biggest hill in the neighborhood, right? You got the training wheels, you got the helmets and the wrist guards and stuff, and you're going to fall off, but you're going to get up. And that next time you get up, you do a little bit better until you're cruising down the hill with no training wheels on. So the only way you're going to get to the point where you like your videos is if you start doing them. And the best part is by putting them on YouTube, you get so much data to help you make them better. You get those click-through rates, you get those audience retention graphs to really see you may be doing something super simple and your audience loves it. And you don't even have to do that extra thing you thought you needed to do because you're going to see what people are relating to.
Totally. Love that. Okay, so another question about whether or not this is right for a particular niche. So
Mhm.
I'm a broadcast journalist,
Mhm.
learning new things with all the time that I have. Can what you said still work for me as well?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, being a broadcast journalist, you want to think about if your audience is potentially networks, like you want to find you? What should you be doing on YouTube that networks are looking for on YouTube? What kind of content that you be sharing to be seen? Maybe you even have like a mini news series on your YouTube channel so they can start to see what kind of work that you do so that they're going to reach out to you, right? They're going to see maybe your content and reach out to you.
Yeah, and I think it'll depend on your specific goals as a
Yes.
broadcast journalist in your career, or if you're starting something on the side.
Yes.
But you have like the first section of your course, Trina, will help you figure
Yes.
that out, right? It's all about finding your people and
Mhm.
articulating what you want from YouTube and all of that good stuff.
Yeah, the first section, I'm looking at it on a post-it note all over there. It's all about the foundation. So like finding your niche and figuring out what direction to take so that YouTube can start picking you up for that and serving you to more people who are looking for that. So once you really know your niche, you can really direct your content, and then YouTube will start to see what kind of content you're creating and put you in front of the people that respond to that type of content.
Yeah. And that doesn't mean that you have to get it perfect out the gate, right? There's always
Yes.
room to edit and pivot and massage the message and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, so a couple more questions. Is it okay to mix content into one channel? I interview people, but I also want to make editorials about fighters and sports topics. Is that a good idea, or should I make two different channels?
That's a great question. I get that a lot. And what you need to think about is the audience that's watching your interviews going to be watching your other content. If it's the same audience, then great. What tends to happen is you confuse your audience. They want to subscribe to your channel for something specific. And while it's something specific, it needs to be enough that you can branch out to. So I talk about building your confidence on video. So I can talk about equipment. I can talk about YouTube. I can talk about Facebook. I'm still talking about video and how to do it better, but it leaves me these other areas, but my audience knows what they're going to get. So making sure, and like I said, in that first section, the foundation, I really walk through understanding your niche and clearly defining who is your target audience, because YouTube needs to understand who are the best people to see this content. If YouTube can see based on your content what you're creating and who wants to see it, they're going to be able to put it in front of the right people that are going to click on it, watch it, click on another video, and kind of create that binge session so that YouTube pushes your content out to more people. So that's kind of really broken down. And one of the first steps inside of the program is the foundation area.
Awesome. And this other question, I am sure you cover in super duper detail in the
Mhm.
course, and you also have videos about, but let's talk about it quickly here, which is what equipment do you recommend? Camera, microphone, and
Mhm.
what tools and programs do you use to edit? Basically, like, what do I need to get started with this?
Yes. So you can literally get started with your phones. These phones have such great cameras in them nowadays that this is a great place to get started. I have a window over here. You can prop the camera in on a window sill and talk to it. I started with the DSLR camera. And if you look at my very first videos, they were all blurry, out of focus, and terrible because I had no idea what I was doing with the DSLR. And what I found was if I spend my time figuring out that tech, I was wasting time. So I used my phone, and then I bumped up to this quick one. And the reason I bought this is because I was a new mom. I needed a good camera. This is a Canon G7X. This is the first version, Mark One, which you can buy really cheap on Instagram. I mean, within a couple $100s. And the reason why this is great is it has a flip up screen so you can see yourself, make sure you're in focus. And I've used this for 5 years. And like I said, I bought it 5 years ago, and I just recently upgraded to the camera you see back there. It's a little bit more advanced, but I did well on this. I've done videos where I've accidentally left this in the car and my husband took it to work, and I used my webcam. And I put those videos up on YouTube, and I'm using a Logitech C920, which shoots in HD, which is good enough to get started as well. As far as a microphone, I'm using the Blue Yeti mic right now. I use that for my videos for a long time. I also had, it's back there now, a lapel mic. So if you are using your phone, it plugs right into your phone. I have the full list of all the equipment that I use inside the program too. But seriously, you want to get started with what you already have and start getting the data, because who knows? Again, you could just be filming with what you got, and people love your content because it's authentic and it's real and it connects with people, and your content is amazing. And then you bought all that extra equipment just to up your video, right? But you didn't need to get started with it. I use Final Cut Pro right now. Used iMovie for years because it's free on Mac products. We have students who recommend Camtasia. That's why we got some Camtasia training inside of the program too, because so many people recommended Camtasia.
Yeah, I think that's such a good point, Trina, about using what you have, starting where you are, like iPhone, stick yourself in front of a window, get some natural light,
Yes.
keep it simple, and you can always evolve from there. But just like Trina said, if you are so worried about like not having the right equipment or not having the right haircut or these things that ultimately don't really matter, you just aren't going to get the data you need to actually grow your audience
Mhm.
and make the most out of video. So it's like, and what you help people do in the course so beautifully is just like hit the ground running, let's go, let's get started, which I just
Yeah.
think is key.
And sometimes it's such a mindset block. And while we're thinking, okay, we need all this equipment or we need to go get our hair done, it's really just an excuse that's holding you back from maybe not wanting to be vulnerable and putting yourself on video. And it is scary to put yourself out there for everybody to critique. But you want to think about what could this do ultimately for you and your audience. How could you help your audience on a new level that you haven't been able to help before? And video just does that, and it allows you to reach more people and help more people too.
Yeah, absolutely. And ultimately, like I used to be really freaked out by getting on camera. And my first like dipping my toe into video was on Instagram stories, and I was so nervous. Like I hated the way I sounded. Was just like, we're all very critical of ourselves, right?
Mhm.
Um, but I did it anyway. And after ripping the band-aid off a few times, I started to realize like what I have to say and what I have to share and how I want to connect with people is just so much more important than that other stuff. And if somebody has a problem with the way I sound or talk, like there are so many other people you could learn from. Go find one of them,
Yeah.
Their
And I
opinions don't matter that much.
and I still to this day, I don't like the sound of my voice, but I mean, I'm not getting comments telling me like I sound terrible. Honestly, I get more nice comments than mean comments. I'm a sarcastic person, so I enjoy the mean comments because generally I'll respond to them and I get nothing back because they just have nothing better to do but to troll videos. But we sometimes psych ourselves out that people are going to say mean things, and it's not all the time. And YouTube will let you turn off comments too. YouTube will let you block certain words too in your comments, so you
Mhm.
can customize all of that inside of YouTube comments
Yeah. So
specifically.
if you're worried about that, like
Yeah,
it's all manageable.
yeah,
Okay, couple more questions here before we
yes,
hop off. So if you've got more questions, pop them in the chat for us.
yes.
But do you have any tips, Trina, for somebody who has traffic on a main street and lives somewhere busy?
Yeah, so it can be tough. If possible, film around that, or go to an interior room, maybe not by a window. That can be a way to do it. I know there are ways to sound block, like put a sound plug in your video, but you want to also just film your video and see how noticeable it is. Like I said, you probably haven't noticed the wind here. I can hear it, but you probably haven't noticed it. So it may not even pick up on your microphone. So I would try it and see how well it works. And a lot of people tend to know, like, okay, you are in a busy area. Just keep the window closed. Try to mitigate the sound as much as possible.
Yeah, I mean, I live in New York City, so it is unavoidable. Sirens, traffic, people yelling on the street, the one guy walking up and down with his megaphone. Like, there's no way to plan around it, so I don't even bother. It just
Mhm.
goes in there and it adds texture and color.
Yeah. It makes them curious. Oh, where does she live?
Yeah, and it's real, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
real life.
Yeah.
Totally. All right. Is there anything else, Trina, that you want to mention before we hop off today?
Yeah, I mean, let me know if you have any questions. This is available for Cami's audience until Thursday night at the $397 price point. So this is a special price that I'm offering for your audience. If you have any questions, please let me know, reach out. I would love to touch base with you. I just love the community that we've had inside of Video Strategy Academy. Everybody wants to support each other. We all go follow each other's channels. And I try to get in and watch as many people's videos as possible when I can and give feedback when I can. And I really just want people to know video doesn't have to be difficult if you have that strategy, right? I don't want you to do video and waste your time. I really want you to see that bigger picture and see that results. And the best way to do that is really kind of knowing what you're doing when it comes to video. And that's what I did with this. I've tried to make it as consumable as possible. The videos aren't over more than 10 minutes in the training. It was a bunch of like 10 minutes or less videos because I know after 10 minutes, I start to glaze over. So I just really wanted to give you the best stuff up front, no fluff, take action. Here are the steps and it should work. And if it doesn't, you can always ask me. I love answering questions and making sure you don't get stuck. I'm not kind of a purchase my course and ghost type of person. I really want you to see the results that you want.
Awesome. Well, Trina, thank you so much for being here. This was incredibly valuable, action-packed to everybody watching. Thank you so much for being here with us. Like your enthusiasm and your engagement, you guys are the best. And there's a replay coming your way. So if you missed any parts or you want to go back to the script or the process, come back to the replay, rewatch it. And like Trina said, that that special offer is up until Thursday for you guys. So with that said, have a wonderful rest of your day. We appreciate you so much. And let us know if you've got any questions.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Cami. Bye, guys.